SwimOutlet.com delivers the best online shopping experience. With an extensive selection and the lowest prices, you're guaranteed to find the product you need. Here's what you get. Free shipping on all orders over $49. Free 1 to 2 day shipping on all orders over $99. All orders placed by 6 p.m. ship out the same day. Shop at SwimOutlet.com, the web's most popular swim shop.
This is the Morning Swim Show for Thursday, June 14th, 2012. I'm your host, Jeff Cummings. In the Finis Monitor today is Craig Nisgor, the head coach for the Seattle University women's swim team. The Red Hawks are preparing to be a full-fledged Division I program next season, and Coach Nisgor joins us today from Seattle to talk about it. Coach, welcome to the Morning Swim Show. How are you today?
I'm doing well, Jeff. Thank you very much.
So congratulations on, as I said, being an official Division I program.
Thank you.
So you just wrapped up your first season as head coach there, correct?
Correct.
And I understand the team had to kind of follow some NCAA rules while they transitioned from Division II to Division I. Tell us more about that.
The transition has really taken place over the past 5 years, and this was before I came in, of course, this being my first year. And with the men's and women's programs, the transition meant that even though we could compete at the Division I level, they could not qualify for the Division I championships, which was kind of interesting this year, too, because we were actually co-hosting the men's Division I championships. And even if we had any of our swimmers make it, they would unfortunately not have been able to go. But going into next season, now we are officially Division I, and when we have swimmers qualify for the championships, they will be able to go.
So that must have been tough for your swimmers to know that the NCAAs were right in their backyard and they didn't even have a chance to swim in it.
Yeah, it was a bit. I think, for a lot of them, they knew that this was the case when they came in, especially for our seniors who came in 4 years ago. But co-hosting the NCAA championships was a great thing for us, too, because with everyone being down there, the team actually worked the meet, and they were timing, they were on deck, they were around the best of the best. And it actually, it was a great thing because it opened a lot of their eyes to what it takes to be at that level.
Do you have any kids, and I know we're about to talk about one in particular, but do you have any kids who would have qualified for NCAAs this year?
No, not this year. We have a couple that did make their B cuts, the provisional cuts, but no one would have made the meet this year.
Okay. So speaking of, I mentioned we're going to talk about one swimmer who's going to be a leader next season, Kevlyn Richards.
Correct, Kevlyn.
She qualified for the Olympic trials in the 100 breast, kind of a last-ditch effort. I know you've coached some swimmers to trials before, but I would imagine this one was extra special for you.
Yeah, it's definitely different. I mean, I've been fortunate enough to have worked with some of the athletes at the highest level, the different jobs I've been at, and that's been as an assistant coach. Now being a head coach and having a chance to work with this team and work with Kevlyn, and for her to make the trial cut, it really is kind of special. And for her, I mean, it's an amazing thing because the biggest meet that she's ever competed in has been the conference championships, and now she's going to Olympic trials.
Yeah, so she just skipped right over sectional seniors. She just said, I've got my eyes set on Olympic trials.
Yes, I mean, that was something that really happened. She got the mindset back in March, and we went to sectionals back in March, and she did a great time there. She actually dropped a second and a half off her lifetime best and realized, well, wait a minute, trials is not that far away. Well, it's been a 3-month process since that meet back in March, but she finally got it, and the same 2 weeks will be in Omaha.
And do you have any other swimmers who are right on the cusp of qualifying?
We had a few that were really close. They were within a couple tenths, maybe even a second. There were actually about 3 people that were within a second, but when the season ended, they decided to do some other things at this point, and that's totally understandable. Long season going through with stuff, but we do have one going, so that's what really matters at this point.
I would imagine this really gives you and your team a boost going into this first official Division I season.
I think it does. I mean, there's no question that swimming up here in the Pacific Northwest, us being first of all the only Division I men's team in really within 5 states, and the women's team only having a few teams up here in the Pacific Northwest, that it really does give us a lot of legitimacy, and people are starting to look at Seattle U, I think, in a different way, which is going to help our program out in the future, and that's something that we're really looking forward to.
Well, speaking of that, being really the only Division I men's and women's swimming program in Washington, for that matter, I mean, except for, I guess, Washington State, I mean, does that really help you with recruiting, especially for kids in the area who want to stay local?
I think it does, but one of the things that I've actually realized, coming in here, is not everyone knows about Seattle U and about us being a Division I swim team. So that's something that myself and my assistant, Kevlyn Richards, are really working to make sure that we get out there and get the recruiting bug going in everyone's ears. Needless to say, with Kevlyn making trials, the emails that I've gotten in the past couple days from a lot of high-level recruits has been really exciting. So a lot of people are seeing that, and in the area, there's no question. I think people did know about Seattle U, but did not realize that we were going to be a full-fledged Division I program, and not realize the level that we're working to get this team to as well.
What goals do you have for the teams next season?
I think we just got to be the best we can be. There was a lot of transition this year. I mean, the team has been through a lot in the past couple seasons, and this was a big transition year, getting things going. But the goals are to keep on making an impact. Our women are going to the WAC next year, and we want to jump in there and make things happen.
Now, as you mentioned, this is your first head coaching job. You spent all of your coaching career as an assistant coach at various universities. What does it feel like for you to finally be a head coach?
It's a good feeling. I mean, I think that it's something, that every assistant out there, eventually you want to be a head coach, and you hope to get into the right situation. For myself, I was really fortunate enough that with this position, it meant moving from the East Coast to the West Coast, a little bit different, but everything about Seattle U, of course, with the administration, with the academics, with everything we have going on here, is such a great place to be, and it is so exciting to be able to start getting the program going the direction we want it to, and getting people out there to know about the university and what there it really does have to offer. And
you've pretty much had your entire coaching career at universities. What do you like about coaching college swimmers?
It's just fun. There's no question. There's definitely a different way you have to deal with age groupers versus college swimmers. But I also love seeing that everyone at the end of their 4 years of college, they say it was worth it, because it's something that it's an invaluable experience. That a lot of people talk about what you learn in the classroom, and there's no question. I mean, academics, everything is so important. But you talk to a lot of former athletes or even people that are still swimming, and they'll tell you they learn just as much about their education, about themselves in the pool as they did in the classroom. I think that's pretty amazing, and it's something that is so exciting and so rewarding to be part of.
Well, we already talked about Kevlyn going to Olympic trials. Tell us about some of those other swimmers that we should be looking out for next season.
I mean, I think just really have to watch overall. There's a lot of people that are coming up and coming. There's no question we have a very strong senior class that both on the men's side and the women's side, we have school record holders in there. We also have a recruiting class coming in, which one of the men that we have coming in is actually a two-time senior national qualifier. So definitely stuff going in the right direction. And as I say, I mean, our men's class, incredibly strong. Our women's class, incredibly strong coming in. And I have a lot of high expectations out of the team and out of the incoming class. I think that we're going to see an overall great team performance in the upcoming year.
Well, it says a lot that you can't really single out one person, that it's the whole team that is going to be leading the charge, Coach. Thanks so much for joining us, and we look forward to hopefully seeing some of your swimmers, men and women, at the NCAAs next year.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's Coach Craig Nisgor joining us on the Morning Swim Show, and we invite you to join the conversation about topics discussed on today's show. Just go to our article about this show on swimmingworld.com or visit our Facebook posting. You can also tweet your thoughts to us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is @SwimmingWorld. That will do it for today's show. I'm Jeff Cummings. Thanks for watching.